Hello, Your Honor, and welcome to Friday. Well, it looks like overcast and feeling sort of blah today for the Librans. That's because the moon is now in your subconscious, the space you've been working on for nearly a year now with Saturn. So emotional focus is on what we call weeds in your soul garden. The weeds in your soul garden, of course, your issues, the inner rings of your consciousness, the part where we store damage from childhood, the part where we store damage from past lives, even if you want to go that far back in your belief structure. It really is the spiritual junk in your trunk. And in the next 2 days, those are going to become much more conscious than usual, especially emotionally. It'll be highly likely, thank you, that you'll be triggered by issues from the past, childhood, etc. It's kind of like when someone says something to us and we get extremely angry and it isn't really justified in the moment. That's because we're bringing our spiritual junk out of our trunk and to the present and projecting it onto the other person. So be very conscientious of that. In fact, tomorrow will be the most extreme part of that because the moon will cross Saturn. Now, Saturn is the planet responsible for making you face all of your spiritual issues. It started here about a year ago. We've got another year to go or so. It will leave for good out of this space January 2010, so don't get too excited. And between now and Christmas, you're going to still do a lot of exploring and discovering. Then Saturn will retrograde back in around Christmas time. So just pay attention to your moods and your emotions and what comes up. This is a great weekend to do some dream journaling. And you might get a little bit of anxiety around whether or not your life is going to work out. Perhaps a potential panic that your life won't work out. That's because the moon crossing Saturn will also strike that fault line between Saturn and Uranus. Watch the astro weather. Now, on top of that, we're in chapter 1 of the Sun in Scorpio. This month, it's all about raising soul capital. But before we can raise soul capital, we've got to determine where you are spiritually hemorrhaging. Okay, we're going to have to do a spiritual credit check in the first 10 days of this. So you might have some money problems in the first 10 days, or you might have some money fears in the first 10 days. But really, even deeper than that, it's about how you believe in yourself or don't believe in yourself. Like I've always said, you can't draw on $1 million unless you feel like $1 million. So through the weekend, some of this deep spiritual junk in the trunk may also relate to some self-confidence issues. All right, Libra, that's all I have for the weekend forecast. I'll be back on Monday. Live, love, be.